There was a time when I believed the only way to get my home under control was to go big or not go at all. If I was going to declutter, it had to be everything. Every room, every drawer, every cabinet. I'd wait for the right day, a long weekend, enough energy, no interruptions. And when that day finally came, I'd pull things out, all of them, onto the bed, onto the floor, onto the dining table, and halfway through, I'd stop. Tired, overwhelmed, surrounded by piles that somehow made my house feel worse than when I started. If that sounds familiar, pause for a second. Comment down below and tell me honestly, have you ever started decluttering and quit halfway through? Because here's what took me far too long to realize. The problem was never motivation. It was never discipline, and it definitely wasn't laziness. The problem was the method. The biggest decluttering lie we were taught. Most of us were taught that organizing means finishing everything in one push. That belief is especially cruel after 60. Your energy is different now. Your nervous system is different. Your tolerance for chaos is lower. Yet we keep using strategies designed for younger bodies and busier chaos, and then we blame ourselves when they fail. That stops today. Because the truth is this: you don't need hours. You don't need fancy bins. You don't need a perfect plan. You need 10 minutes and a clear stopping point. That's it. I call this the 10-minute reset. And once you understand why it works, you'll never declutter the old way again. Why small is the secret, especially after 60. Here's what most people miss. Decluttering isn't really about stuff, it's about your nervous system. When your brain sees a big mess, it reacts like it's under threat. Decision fatigue kicks in, your body tightens, your mind freezes. That's why standing in a cluttered room can feel exhausting before you even touch a thing. But when the task is small, your brain stays calm. 10 minutes doesn't trigger panic. It doesn't demand perfection. It feels safe. And safety is what allows action. This is especially important for seniors who've spent decades being responsible for everything and everyone. Your brain is tired of being pushed. It needs proof that things can be finished gently. Step 1. Pick a zone that feels almost too small. This is where most people get it wrong. They choose a room. Don't do that. Choose a surface. One shelf, one nightstand, one chair that's been holding clothes for weeks, one bathroom drawer. Not the whole dresser, one drawer. The goal is not transformation. The goal is completion. If you finish something, your brain relaxes, and relaxation creates momentum. Pause and comment down below. Which small spot in your home feels like it's quietly bothering you right now? Say it out loud. Naming it matters. Step 2. Set the timer for 10 minutes, no more. This part is non-negotiable. Not 15, not 20, not until I feel done. 10 minutes. Your brain trusts 10 minutes. It doesn't argue, it doesn't negotiate, it doesn't delay. 10 minutes says this will end. And endings matter when you've spent years starting things you couldn't finish. A real-life example, not a perfect one. Let me give you a different picture than the usual kitchen story. Imagine this. You have a chair in your bedroom, not for sitting, for holding clothes. The sweater you wore once, the pants you'll put away later, that jacket that's not dirty but not clean. Every time you see that chair, your shoulders tense a little bit. So tonight, you pick just the chair. You set the timer, and for 10 minutes, you make simple decisions. Hang it, wash it, donate it, or let it go. No deep thinking, no memory lane, just function. When the timer ends, the chair is clear. Not the whole room, just the chair. But something important happened. You finished. Step 3. Clear, sort, reset. Nothing fancy. Decluttering doesn't require organizing products. It requires decisions. Ask only 3 questions. Do I use this now? Does it make my daily life easier? Does it deserve space in my home today? That's it. Not what did this cost? Not what if someone needs it? Not who might be offended? Those questions come later, if ever. Right now, we're building trust with your brain. Why stopping matters more than finishing. This part surprises people. When the timer goes off, you stop. Even if you're almost done, even if you feel capable of more. Stopping teaches your brain that decluttering has limits, that it won't take everything from you. That's how overwhelmed fades. Later, if you want to continue, that's fine, but stopping on purpose is what changes the pattern. The science simplified. When you complete a small task, your brain releases dopamine, not as a reward, as encouragement. It's your brain saying, we can do this again. Big projects don't give that feeling. They delay it, sometimes indefinitely. Small wins stack, and stacked wins change behavior. That's not motivation, that's biology. Making it gentle and even enjoyable. Some people pair their 10-minute reset with something pleasant. Soft music, a favorite radio voice, a familiar playlist from years ago. This isn't cheating, it's association. You're teaching your brain that clearing space doesn't mean punishment. It means relief. A story from a client. One woman I worked with, Linda, was in her early 70s. Every few months, she'd say the same thing. I just cleaned everything. How did it come back? She wasn't messy. She was exhausting herself. She waited until clutter screamed, then tried to silence it all at once. When she switched to a nightly 10-minute reset, something unexpected happened. Her mornings changed. She stopped searching for her glasses. Her kitchen felt calmer. She trusted herself again. Not because the house was perfect, because it was manageable. That's the difference. If this is making sense so far, comment down below with the word calm. It helps more people find this video, and it tells me you're ready for a gentler way. Rotate, don't repeat. If your mind gets bored easily, rotate your spaces. Tonight, the coffee table. Tomorrow, the bathroom sink. Next day, the entryway shelf. No rigid schedule, no guilt. You're building consistency, not obedience. Why this works for busy, tired, and aging brains. Because it respects limits. Because it finishes. Because it creates peace instead of pressure. This isn't about catching up, it's about creating breathing room. And after 60, breathing room matters more than perfection ever did. If you're finding this helpful, take a second to subscribe to Senior Decluttering Diaries and turn on the notification bell. Every week, we focus on calm, realistic ways to lighten your home and your mind. What happens over time? This is important. One cleared surface leads to another. Not because you forced it, because momentum carried you. And slowly, your home stops feeling heavy. Not spotless, just supportive. Comment down below which room in your home would feel most peaceful with just one surface cleared. You're not behind, you're just done with chaos. If you've tried everything and nothing stuck, it wasn't you. You were using systems that demanded more than they gave back. This one gives back immediately. 10 minutes, one finish, one calm win. That's enough. Before you go, subscribe to Senior Decluttering Diaries and tap the notification bell so you don't miss next week's video. I'll be sharing one tiny daily habit that keeps this calm from disappearing. Tonight, don't plan. Just pick, set the timer, stop when it rings. Then notice how your body feels. That's not just a clean space. That's peace returning. And one last thing, comment down below and tell me when you're going to try your first 10-minute reset. Tonight? Tomorrow morning? I read every comment.